Welcome to day 22. Come on. Welcome to Nethy Bridge. So on the second Saturday in August, they're beholding the Abernethy Highland Games. It's been going now here since about the 1830s. It's about 184, 85 years old. Remember yesterday we were trying to visit Castle Grant. Part of the celebrations of the Highland Games is a clan grant gathering. But for me, it's a 10-mile road race. I think I've took part 2 or 3 times. August, second Saturday. 46 days away, 10-mile road race. We can do this. So the Highland Games in Nethy Bridge would take place just here, just in these football grounds. A very busy Saturday afternoon. I've took part a couple of times in 10-mile road race. But what was unusual for me was, rather than starting here and running straight onto the road, you would run round the football pitches twice. I'd always forget that I'm ready to go. So you run round twice, once, twice, then you exit and you head into the forest area. And 10 miles later, you come back into here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to run round. Come on. So you may have saw a bit of me running around the football pitches. So let's be positive. Let's maybe mark that in my diary. Okay, Frank. Second Saturday in August. We'll try and get a day off. We'll try and take part in the Abernethy Friendly Highland Games. 10-mile road race. Let's go running. So although it is a road race, 10 miles, a lot of it is set in forest paths, which makes it quite an unusual event. very friendly. I would highly recommend, if you're in Nethy Bridge, second Saturday in August, certainly check out the friendly Highland Games. The finish line is just round the corner. Let's go and finish strong, Frank. Now as I followed this path here and we would turn right into the finish line of the Abernethy Highland Games, I looked to my left and I saw Angus. Now Angus is about my dad's age. Angus is about 87 or 88 years old. And I first got to know Angus when he came into my store. He bought the local paper, and inside the paper was a coupon. Pop into our store, redeem the coupon, get a free coffee, free cookie. So as always, I made general chit chat. How are you? Do you live in the local area? Now it turns out that Angus was a fantastic runner. As I've always said, you judge people so easily. You look at an older person and you assume they've always been old. You look at a young person and they know what they're doing. So all the times I spoke with Angus, he would pop in, he would get a coffee, he would sit for a little while. He would tell me tales of how he was in the film Chariots of Fire. He was in the opening scene of Chariots of Fire, where the main actor would run across St Andrew's Beach. They had to reshoot it so many times because Angus and his friends were running so fast. So I had to go and check it out to see Angus in his youth. He'd also recall tales of how we would run a marathon under 3 hours. I was just flabbergasted. I would then show him photos of where I'd been running. He would always ask and be really curious what pace was that per mile, or how many miles, or how did you feel, what you're training for, what's your next big event. But on this time, obviously having to pay to get in, Angus was on the main road. And I just saw him shout at me. And there's me sauntering towards the end. Get your legs up, come on, keep moving. Utterly terrifying. Utterly fantastic. Utterly motivating. I'll never forget that. He also done it in the Aviemore half marathon. There's like 30 feet to go. And there's me sauntering to the end. And again, get your legs up, keep moving. Thanks, Angus. I really appreciated that. The Telford Bridges of Nethy Bridge. As There's also mass pipe bands on Games Day. And more about Thomas Telford and the bridges he built and the style he has. I was just running in the general direction of the old Nethy Bridge train station. As I looked to my left, I saw part of a building in the middle of the water, and I wondered what it was. It took me a few seconds to figure it out. That must have been a bridge over the River Nethy. It's part of his train line. I love this. I love finding stuff. Nethy Bridge train station, just on my right. Just behind me is the Nethy Bridge railway station. It's now part of the Strathspey Railway. What a beautiful building. The trains have long gone. In the 1960s, the UK was decimated. A lot of villages and rural communities were cut off. Nethy Bridge was no different. Now, Nethy Bridge as a small village was formed in the 1810s. It wasn't really until 1860 when the railway came along that it really came to life. It's really sad, isn't it, that 100 years later, after that, railway is gone. It's like that all through the UK. So many fantastic villages, little towns, just cut off. But a beautiful testament to what was once a lovely railway line. Nethy Bridge, now part of the Strathspey Railway. Very lovingly restored. If you just look to the left, you'll just see part of the old railway station and where the train would come in. If you follow the railway, it's now a path. It's very busy, used now as part of the Speyside Way. So we're not in Nethy this morning to look at its old railway line or to look at its forests or to talk about its Highland Games. We're here to find a castle. Third time lucky. Hello. Hello. You're a beautiful horse. Horse. We're just passing by Abernethy Old Kirk. And then begin to see, hopefully, a castle. So on Sunday, 2 days ago, we went in search of Crookston Castle. We finally find it. It's closed. Yesterday, we went looking for Castle Grant, and obviously it's owned privately, so there's no access. Couldn't see the castle. Today, third time lucky. Welcome to Castle Roy. And this one. Yeah, come on. Castle Roy. They believe it goes back to about the early 1200s. Come, let's go and visit a castle that's open, not privately owned, and not closed to Frank. Castle Roy Trust. In the distance, Cairngorm Mountains. In the foreground, the Old Kirk. And at the picnic point, mountain panorama. I love a good castle. Its history, its viewpoint, its stories. Everyone's got a story to tell, and everything's got a story to tell. I can see my house from here. Day 20. Third time lucky. We found the castle. It was open. So, Tuesday, 23rd of June, 2025. Running every day for 100 days. It's done.